Hi, this is Jan Canfield, and welcome back to another segment of Talking About Success. Normally when we talk about success, we talk about individual success or corporate success. Today we're going to talk about global success, about really making a difference in the world. And my guest today, Rino Solberg, you're someone who I would say has gone from success to significance. You're making a real difference in the world.
Thank you.
You are the author of 2 books. One's called Social Entrepreneurship, The Better Globe Way, and a holistic and sustainable social entrepreneurship where you also profit on your donations. I love this. You can actually make a donation that actually comes back to you like an investment. And then another book called Put Integrity First, The Right Way to Get Success in Africa and to Fight Poverty and Corruption in the Process. So, fabulous work. I want to let our viewers know all about it. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, you have this book called Put Integrity First, and it's about the right way to get success and to fight poverty and corruption in Africa.
Yes.
And I mentioned to you before we started that I had, my brother-in-law was the ambassador to Cameroon.
Yeah.
And there was a huge amount of poverty there, and then he was ambassador to Madagascar. And
Yes.
Everywhere he's been, basically,
Yeah.
that's there. And you and I know that that has to change.
Absolutely.
But you have a way of going about it that I think is very powerful. Let's talk about that.
That it works. And in fact, today it's corrupt. All over Africa is corruption. And it eats, you know, people don't realize it, but it dies more people, more kids out of corruption than of AIDS or anything else.
Really?
Yes, it does, because all the money that is given from communities around the world to medication, to all kind of things, it disappeared. It doesn't reach the kids. And of course, also for water, they don't get the water because the money disappears. So it's more spent on these things that really fight corruption to manage to get these things straightened out.
Corruption is killing more kids than AIDS. That's a really powerful way to look at that.
It is.
So you're saying integrity is the solution?
Yes, because, you know, to mention, I found that by accident, it is a quote in the Bible, in the Proverbs, that says that whatever you train a child when they are small, they will never forget when they grow old. And in fact, to teach, we have done it now for about 15 years. We train small kids about honesty and corruption. We have incorporated that into our schools. We run 2 schools in Uganda. And we have seen the results already of the kids coming out of the university. They become champions of integrity. And they really are trustworthy. And you see, in Africa, they are pouring hundreds of thousands of kids out of university. I think in Kampala alone 40,000. And they go straight into the queue of unemployment. And because they have nothing to sell to anyone who wants to employ them. They don't know anything. If they stick out like a sore thumb and say that I am honest, I have integrity, I can tell you, a lot of companies will hire them right away and pay them more than the education they've ever had. So I think that that's a commodity which is worth something. And when you have integrity as a person, you outconquer any education the way I see it.
Now you have a magazine, I think it's called BINGWA.
Yeah, it's called BINGWA.
For Champions.
Correct.
I love it, and I was leafing through it earlier.
Yeah.
And I remember it's all in full color, it's really cool. It's aimed at the kids.
Yes. It's a free magazine.
Free magazine. And there were some pictures of little kids' faces in circles. There was one boy, I forget his name, but he looked like he was about 12 or something.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I stand up as a champion to fight corruption. If I see someone taking a bribe, I'm going to report it to the policeman. But it's just building in that new concept of training them to think that way.
You know, Jack, I have seen it work now for 15 years. I wasn't sure, but now we are sure it works, really. And even the Minister of Integrity in Uganda, he really saw it. He heard our girls and boys standing up and say, listen, we are champions of integrity. We are BINGWAs, and we are going to run our African countries in an integrity way. So it was unbelievable. And
now we're talking about millions of children.
Absolutely. You know,
that must cost a lot of money to fund a magazine for millions of children.
Jack, that has been our problem. And last year we got support from Save the Children. They came with $50,000, so we could print 50,000 copies. And then each copy is read by approximately 100 children.
Wow.
So we reached 5 million children that time. Now my goal is to, within the 5 to 10 years plan, we hope to get money enough to finance 1 million BINGWAs. And we distribute them free to the school, teaching the children or the teachers how to teach the children. And they are very responsive. So then we will have 100 million children that we talk to. And with our message coming up all the time of integrity, honesty, and children's right, and all kind of things that is good for them.
Well, often we in America will look at Africa and we see there's just such a huge problem.
Yes.
And we often talk about this term, boots on the ground.
Yeah.
We're glad to know your boots are on the ground in Africa, and all the teachers that you're training and the schools that you're building and the model you're creating and
Yes.
the success you're having. So I just want to encourage anyone watching this. Again, let's share a website people can go to if they'd like to contribute. So many people want to do something.
Yes.
And so often we hear things like, well, the money just gets used up 85% for administration, all that. But supporting you, whether it was with the trees or with the growing up the kids who are going to become trees, in a sense,
Yes.
pillars of the society, if you will. Tell people where you want to go, where you want to go for this.
We have a common website because the Better Globe is fighting corruption and everything.
Okay.
BetterGlobeGroup.com. But for the BINGWA, we have bingwa.info. That's a corruption site. You can donate 20 euros, which is $25 or something,
right.
And then you buy 10 copies of BINGWA, distributed free to the school. And you can buy one school or you can buy 100 schools. If you get a company to buy 1,000 schools, we'll be even more happy. So it costs only $20 for 10 copies distributed to the schools and really working on the ground. And that is cheap, and you can do a lot for that money.
Plant a tree.
Yeah.
Build up a child's integrity.
Yes.
Build up a nation. I love it.
Exactly.
I'm so glad to have met you.
Well,
You're a good man doing good work in the world.
Thank you
I
very
hope all
much,
of
Jack.
you will explore this,
Yes.
Get involved. If your heart is, what's the word I want, touched by what you're sharing, this is a place where you can make a difference as well. I think people that are out there in the field like yourself deserve all the support of those of us who are sitting at home watching television.
Thank you very much.
Out in the world doing the hard work.
Thank you.
So thank you, Rino, for joining us. I really appreciate you. And I wish we had more time, but we don't. So stick around. We're going to be right back after this break.